you're watching WGS-TV, and if not, what's up with that?
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on SoundCloud.com and YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm the WrestleGamer, Double Bleep and Vujo. This is going to be the Monday Night Raw review for the week of January 12th, 2015. And let me introduce you to the panel for this week's Monday Night Raw review. First off, ladies and gentlemen, you know him as the hardcore host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the hardcore one himself, Rick Head. Rick, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there, Billy. Thanks for bringing me in. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's our resident music mogul over on YouTube.com/LanceMossTV. He is the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
Just had lunch. I'm doing pretty good.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, he was at Monday Night Raw last night where three homeless guys mugged him for hamburgers. He's James from the Big Easy. James, how you doing?
Hey, at least you're not a hoe.
Anyway, a lot to talk about Monday Night Raw this week, especially when they start naming the Hall of Fame inductions for this week, and the very first one was named, and we'll get to it when we get to it. But let's start with the beginning of Monday Night Raw. We had John Cena come out to kind of address what happened on last week's Raw and whatnot, and which would bring out the Authority, and the Authority was said they would give Cena a chance to win their jobs back against Seth Rollins in a Lumberjack match. And this, when I saw who the Lumberjacks were, Rick, and to me it consisted of the entire heel roster in the WWE. And when I saw that, it just screamed how predictable. It just screamed screw job, because you know Cena wasn't going to go over in that match. They were going to put Seth Rollins over in that match, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, this is obviously a double cross, and everybody saw it coming. You know, you knew the twist was coming from Jump Street. You know, the second, you know, every time that Cena gets out of the match, it rolls out of the ring, he gets his ass kicked. The second Rollins gets out, he gets a break. And it was just throughout the whole entire match, you saw how it goes out, and eventually Rollins gets the win, and it was just a terrible. Absolutely, the whole match sucked.
Up next, we would have Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston of the New Day taking on the masters of the WWE Universe, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Anyone else confused as to what they're doing here, Lance? I mean, are you just as confused as I am as to where they're going with this?
Is like apparently they're rosebuds now. Okay.
Well,
WWE logic wouldn't say.
Well, there's a lot of WWE logic that we're really confused about. But at least one good thing we saw about was the debut of another unique double team move from the New Day, a combination of a backbreaker flying double stomp from New Day to pick up the win over Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, and it was unique to say the least. Following that, Big Show would come out and call all the fans of Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns losers, which again is just a typical way for heels to garner heat from the crowd, which would prompt Roman Reigns to come out and kind of tell, when did WWE devolve into a fairy tale time? I really don't understand the point of doing that, and whoever's writing promos for Roman Reigns needs to stop it. We
Billy,
did get a match.
Guess who it is? I know who it is.
Who is it?
It's Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
And whoever's telling him that these ideas are to stop it. We would then get a matchup with Roman Reigns and Luke Harper, which wasn't bad to say the least. It was actually quite good, especially when you consider, you know, how good Luke Harper is and how good Roman Reigns is. And I will say this though, you know, the finish of the matchup was indeed unique. We would have Reigns spearing Harper to get the win, and of course when they're building up this feud now with with Reigns and Big Show, it was almost halfway expected to see Big Show go in there and just start beating the utter crap out of Roman Reigns. But and it was something that you addressed, you talked about before, Rick, on here, and I'm pretty sure that you talked about it on HWR, about something that you really did not want to see this whole angle start being drawn out, and the way that's being played right now, Rick, then more than likely that it is going to be drawn out, if not culminating at the Royal Rumble, possibly going all the way to WrestleMania, and I really don't think that's a good idea.
Well, I don't think it's a good. No, I don't think it's a good idea. And I think that with certain things, especially right now, they're on the road to WrestleMania, and these feuds definitely are going to have to, stop. But I understand that they're not going to. I understand that some things are just going to continue to go and go and go and go. But that's just the way WWE works. Especially now, with the Rumble, right at the cusp, things are going to continue to, move on. So, we're just going to leave it at that. So.
Yep, yeah, pretty much. Up next, per the order of Stephanie McMahon, Naomi was to take on Alicia Fox with one arm tied behind her back. James, why?
It's because what happened on SmackDown, right? You didn't see the backstage promo between the Usos and Stephanie McMahon?
No, yeah.
Well, that's because, I mean, you knew going into this is that the Usos were going to get a punishment, but, they wasn't going to do it to them because they're the tag team champions. Why not go for the wife of one of them?
Yeah, you do bring up an interesting point. Up next, guys and gals, he returns. Yes, Bork, Laser, and the Walrus back on Monday Night Raw after Bork Laser has been sitting on his ass ever since he won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Decided to take his ball and go home, and he was like probably shocked. Like, oh, they put the title on me? I need to go sit on my ass and think about what they're doing now. So much for that 30-day rule, saying that if you don't defend your title within 30 days, you gotta fork it over. So much for that idea. But anyway, it was just to put over to the contract signing they were going to do for the triple threat match later tonight, and I've said it before as we welcome Gohan6425 into the review, and Gohan, it was just something I said before and to the main event, and make this mob look like it's been undefeated for years, and that's how great of a talker Paul Heyman is.
Oh, about Paul Heyman with his the promo he did?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought what he was doing was, really good to, put over Brock, and he was, to start the whole thing with Seth Rollins, who's now in the match too. That was good for what it was.
I love the fact how he even made mention of the fact since they were in New Orleans, and last time they were in New Orleans, I think he even said it specifically 282 days ago from WrestleMania 30. That's a great way to draw heat from the crowd, all things considered that it was against The Undertaker, and there's still a lot of fans to this day still can't believe that it was Lesnar who got the Duke at WrestleMania and ended The Undertaker's streak. Yeah. But Gohan, you have something to say about that, Gohan?
I still am shocked, and it's kind of funny now because now they're doing Bray Wyatt. They're possibly going to do Bray Wyatt and Undertaker, which if they had fucking done Wyatt and Undertaker this year and had Wyatt win against Cena last year and had Undertaker beat Lesnar like they should have, then they could have had Wyatt win and pass the torch of the streak going to Wyatt, who's similar to The Undertaker.
Anyway, following that, we would have Jey Uso and The Miz, and I got to give props to Damian Mizdow. This guy goes above and beyond the Call of Duty for his gimmick. Even gets to the point where he, when Miz was getting body slammed, he would actually get in position on the turnbuckle and then slam himself onto the canvas. This guy is amazing. This is
but where's it getting him? Where's it getting him, Billy? Nowhere. It's not.
Well, it's gaining him popularity with the crowd because a lot of fans.
Will WWE use that? Will WWE ever use that?
Here's the thing, though. There is a tactic that I like to call dangling the carrot, kind of giving fans a taste of what they want, but not giving it all the way, which leaving the fans wanting more and more, and that's exactly what they're doing with Mizdow. And then when they finally push the button, when they give him the green light, with all the popularity that he's gaining right now, is definitely going to be one hell of a roller coaster ride, in my opinion. The Miz would hit the skull-crushing finale on Jey Uso to pick up the win, and like I said, you know, in a sense, it's a formula that's working for the tag team of Miz and Mizdow. You have Miz to go out there and just garner so much heat for not giving Damian Mizdow the credit that he deserves, not giving him the time that he deserves. And then whenever he goes to tag him, the fans go nuts. And when he gets in there, the fans are going crazy. Then he immediately tags himself back in, and the fans just go absolutely ballistic for that. And it's a formula that works. And if that formula works, there's no need to change that formula, because you're supposed to have Miz out there to garner heat from the crowd, be the heel, quote, of the tag team. And so far, it's a formula that works, and they should not change it, in my opinion. And when they come to the day, within the point where they break up this tag team of Miz and Mizdow and turn Mizdow face and have him go after the Miz, with all the popularity he has right now, it'll be an angle that can work for Miz and the WWE, and that is definitely something to look forward to.
If they do it.
Up next, the return of Daniel Bryan.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Rick, in your opinion, what are the major points to take away from what they did in the segment with Daniel Bryan?
Well, I know a lot of people are really looking forward to Daniel Bryan be this, you know, win at Royal Rumble and go on to win WrestleMania. And to be honest with you, as much as I am a fan of Daniel Bryan, I just don't see that happening. A lot of people are really big marks for Daniel Bryan. Don't get me wrong. I think he has incredible amounts of talent, but I just don't see that happening at all. I think it should not happen. You know, I think other people should get that chance to win the main event at WrestleMania. I think other people should get the chance to win the match at Royal Rumble. And as far as it being Roman Reigns, I don't think that should be that person either. It's too obvious. And we say here all the time at both the WGS-TV and at HWA, when wrestling becomes predictable, it becomes boring.
Boring.
Exactly. So
here's the problem with that, and other people getting a chance, that's good too. But if they go with Roman Reigns, it's gonna just be another typical Batista year. And we also remember, Daniel Bryan didn't win the Rumble last year. He wasn't even in it, and that's what started the whole controversy.
But but on the same token, he still went on to main event WrestleMania.
Because of the fans, though.
Exactly. But now that he's, he got the big injury, and when you come back from a major injury, your career goes south. I don't care who you are. He's not going to come back. If he comes back and he wins WrestleMania, it's just going to be, for me, it's going to be like a major tongue-in-cheek, like, okay, yeah, great, you won it, congratulations, but I'm not going to buy it.
Well, here's the thing, though. This is what the fans want, and if it's going to draw, they should do it. I mean, there's one or two possibilities I see happening, and that is getting a long shot because they added Seth Rollins to the Royal Rumble, title match thing. Is that they're either going to go with Roman Reigns and Brock, or they're going to have Seth win the Royal Rumble match. They're not going to necessarily have him win the Triple Threat match. They're going to have him lose that match, and then he's going to cash in the Money in the Bank after the match and win the title. And then after that, Bryan is going to win the Royal Rumble, and it's going to be Seth versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. And then they're going to still have Reigns versus Brock, but in a non-title match. No?
Yep. Billy, you there?
Billy?
Billy?
I think we lost our host from the WGS.
Mr. Boudreaux.
I think he's frozen.
That's what I'm thinking too, because all I see is like his head sideways.
Yep, he's frozen.
Okay, sorry about that, guys and gals. My internet burped on me for just a couple of minutes. I have no idea why it did that, but I do apologize for that. So thank you, internet provider, for doing that to me. But just to pick up right where we left off rather quickly, we had Daniel Bryan out there to kind of talk about his return to the ring, which was properly advertised on Friday Night SmackDown, the SmackDown before.
It's not live though, so like, it's a shame.
Yeah, but the thing is, the fact that it's already been advertised that Daniel Bryan was going to be making his return to the ring, so it's not really a surprise that his first match was going to be on SmackDown this week. But his opponent was yet to be named, and they named Kane to be the guy. And then they would have a confrontation with Kane and Daniel Bryan. Lance, in your opinion, because from the way it looked to me, Daniel Bryan from that fight looked to be in really good shape. You know, really didn't look like he missed a step or anything like that. He looked like he was in good fighting condition, and it possibly could be a match to look forward to on SmackDown this week.
Well, it depends on how Kane's feeling that day. Because lately he either has really good matches or complete utter crap.
Well, yeah.
It all depends. I think they paired him up with Kane, because it's his first match. Well, one, it's a rivalry in a way, heel versus face. Kane, technically injured him or whatever, but I think it's to mainly because Kane's more of like a safer wrestler. People ought to view him as. So I feel they put him with Kane. For that aspect, because it's his first match back in like however long it's been. So that's another reason why I think that was his first, that's why that's the guy they paired him up with as his first opponent.
My last question about this segment, because they had Seth McMahon go out there with...
There we go. Oh, crap. I think Billy got cut again.
Their fitness pro.
Oh, what? I think we lost Billy again.
Yeah, we can.
Thing.
That internet,
I'm sorry, is my internet kind of burping a little bit again? I do apologize about
One
that.
burping is farting.
Yeah, I made a little joke if you guys didn't hear. A lot of people are getting the Stephanie McMahon fitness DVD to kind of. Anyway, following that, we would have Brie Bella and Paige. James, I got to say this: the camera work was superb in this match because when they came back from commercial break, damn, it was right on Brie Bella's ass on that one, and I love that. I love that shot.
Hey, you get to see it when it came on the air. I didn't see it when I was live. All right.
It was a hell of a shot, wasn't it, Lance? That was a hell of a shot, huh?
Except for the fact that Naomi is not the Divas champion, and the Bellas are somehow the champion. It's pretty good.
I'll just say this, Daniel Bryan, you lucky bastard.
It's still Brie Bella's ass, though, Gohan. It's still something to look at. It's something that you want to just take in your hands and go, yeah!
And then get put in the
yeah!
James, thoughts on this match?
Tyson Kidd, why? That's all I gotta say.
I have no idea what they're doing right now with this whole storyline with Tyson Kidd, Natalya, and Paige, because after the match was over, Paige, to quote Jerry the King Lawler, who apparently is no longer a commentator on Monday Night Raw, slapped the taste out of Tyson Kidd's mouth. Now, Booker T is not doing that bad of a job as a replacement. I think WWE wants to try. Well, the current crop they have right now wasn't doing any better. The current crop wasn't doing any better, in my opinion. And I think
King was fine, though. King
was fine. But King was fine, yes. But the thing is, the formula they had right now with JBL, Cole, and King really wasn't gelling. I mean, me speaking as a commentator myself, when commentary, it's just sort of lackluster, it takes away from the energy and the entertainment of the match. When you start talking about other things that's not involved in the match, yes, I do know that it's your job.
Well, isn't that the same thing, though? That's the same thing that they do with every commentator. They promote the WWE Network and the WWE app for $9.99.
But here's the thing, though. There's a formula that you're supposed to use. There's supposed to be a good, proper mixture of putting over other stuff in the show in combination with telling the story of the match. And it's usually, you can gauge that. You should be usually like 40-50% of both things. As of late with WWE, it's been like 95% WWE Network and promoting other stuff, and just 5%
with everything, though. That's the problem. It's not the commentators. It's with everything. It's every commentator has to do this, though. Like in WWE, and so it's not really, I don't feel, the commentators that it's missing out on. It's more or less WWE, over promoting shit and having them do that. It's just stupid.
Well, anyway, guys and gals, following that, we would have the big announcement: the first inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame.
It's not expected anymore. It's not expected anymore, Billy. It's not expected.
Yeah, it was something I felt that was highly unusual because, first off, TMZ.com reported it yesterday morning about Macho Man Randy Savage expected to be into the Hall of Fame. Then WWE would promote it throughout the night that Macho Man is expected to be announced to be the first inductee.
I got it on my app, so I know they were expecting it.
Yeah, and WWE.com just promoted it throughout the night, which I thought was a highly unusual thing to see out of WWE. And then they would make the official announcement that it is indeed Macho Man Randy Savage that will be the first inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame. And Lance, I know that you have something to say about the fact that it's Hulk Hogan that's going to be one. Yeah, that's inducting him. Lance, what do you have to say about that?
Before Macho Man died, Hogan and Savage hated each other. That's like, hell, Triple H inducting Punk.
Yeah, I see your comparison. I can see your comparison, but a lot of people consider, when you think about it, the Mega Powers from the 80s and the classic rivalry that Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan have had that transcended WWF and WCW back in the day, which was a storied rivalry to say the least. To me, it's only fitting, in my opinion, that they would have Hulk Hogan, regardless of personal animosities or not, for him to be victim, because a lot of think they most.
Billy's farting out.
It's Hulk Hogan and all the work that he's done.
So Billy, does that mean I don't know if he's still there or he's cutting off.
Oh, I am.
Billy, does that mean that when Shawn Michaels went in the Hall of Fame, does that mean Bret Hart should have inducted him, or Shawn should have inducted Bret? Because I could say the same argument on that one.
I think Bret Hart, in that aspect, had a much better, more storied rivalry with Stone Cold Steve Austin rather than Shawn Michaels. Now,
You know what? I got a better one for you guys. How about Vince McMahon inducting Owen Hart?
That's another one.
Well,
in all seriousness, but I mean, we're all making actual points. I mean, the point is okay, they may have had Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man may have had these great rivalries, but they were kayfabe rivalries. The personal rivalries they had were very, very personal. And Macho Man went on. He had a lot of shoot interviews, and he made it said downright that he actually hates Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, there's still ones on YouTube.
And those words are not like something where it's like, you don't say, oh, I just like somebody or I just don't like it. He said he hates that. You know what I mean? And even when, Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart had their issues, you never really said that, they never even said that they hated each other when everything went down. A lot of people even suspect that that was all kayfabed, but that's a different story for another day. So for Hulk Hogan to induct Randy Savage, yeah, that's very controversial. That's questionable.
Well, I don't see it that way because I don't think personal animosities should play a factor in the wrestling industry. In my mind, it should be. Well, hold on. Let me make my point. When you go into the WWE Hall of Fame, it should be you're being recognized for the work you've done in the wrestling industry, the things that you have accomplished, and the things that you have done in the wrestling industry. I think things that happen, that transcend outside of the wrestling industry should not play a factor. I don't agree with that aspect.
By that aspect, then Chris Benoit could get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but that's by Vince McMahon's choice. Vince McMahon does not want Chris Benoit into the WWE Hall of Fame because he doesn't want his name. Go ahead.
No last thing. Okay, because unless they have passed on, people usually get it told. They usually ask, "Who do you want to induct you in?" Would Hulk Hogan? Would Randy Savage ever say Hulk Hogan? Hell
no.
But if Lanny Poffo did it, would anyone actually know? And like today's wrestling fan, would anyone? But would today's wrestling fan even know who Lanny Poffo is?
Let me make one last point.
He's the genius.
Hold on. Okay, you know what? Who cares? Even if we didn't know who he was, okay? All right. Paul Bearer was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
Do you think he should be inducted into the Hall of Fame? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was. Now, his sons inducted him, right? Do we know who his kids were in the wrestling world?
no.
Right there. Exactly.
So who cares? Did you care? Did it make his induction any more or any less important?
It made it more important than Mr. T's. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, the point is, my point stands.
Oh yes. I understand where you're coming from that aspect, and again, it's you said it yourself. It's something very controversial. A lot of fans are up in arms and on the fence about the decision to let Hulk Hogan be the person to induct Macho Man Randy Savage, but we'll save the further this discussion for another time.
Getting into the Hall of Fame.
Up next, we would have the Ascension once again against local jobbers, and once again in a promos comparing themselves to legendary tag teams. And again, it was the same tag teams, Demolition, the Powers of Pain, the Road Warriors, the Legion of Doom. And I still ask this question to this day: where are they taking the Ascension with this gimmick now on the main roster? I'm still quite confused as to what they're doing with Victor and Connor, and if they're just going to make them twist in the win after the great run they had on NXT. To me, in my mind, that is a terrible decision to do with these guys. This is a very talented tag team in the WWE. They had a magnificent run on NXT, and they're going to take them on the main roster and just turn them into a joke of a tag team. I think that's a mistake, and I think that's an insult to what they've done and the work they've done over the past 2 years in NXT. I totally 100%, James, disagree with what WWE is doing right now with the Ascension.
I think, Bill, if I can may, they remind me right now. What they're doing is they remind me of kind of like the Ultimate Warrior. I don't know, in a way, like Ultimate Warrior.
I can go further. I can go further with that, though, Gohan. I can go further with that. The Blade Runners with him and Sting, because I have the Sting DVD, and they have tag matches. It's a good watch. But James, your opinion about that?
Really, it's like they should have stuck with the NXT gimmick and not deal with the whole comparison with the tag team, because there's still a new tag team on the main roster. They've been dominant in NXT, but you can't really compare them because not a lot of people have seen their work in NXT.
Well, yeah.
So
it's just an unfair comparison, because if you don't see, a lot of people that watch WWE see these people, it's like, who the heck are they and why are they talking about this? I mean, we see their work in NXT, you're like, maybe Maybe, maybe not.
All right. Well, per the order of Stephanie McMahon, Dean Ambrose had to attend therapy sessions.
That was the funniest segment. That was probably their best thing.
Oh,
First off,
Thursday.
I love that one. I love that part where he had
that's you
to do
Thursday,
like,
huh?
yeah, he had to do a picture association, and the first thing they did, if you guys have seen the ads for SmackDown moving to Thursday nights, is that
Thursday.
yeah that, and then we would do like picture association. He did it with Kane. He did it with Stephanie McMahon, who was the and you know
They started with Triple H, the Bowel Syndrome scumbag for Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns was a brother. Kane somehow toothpaste.
I don't understand that one. That's
No.
BDS, Isaac Yankum.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Then we had Hacksaw for some odd reason, and Stephanie McMahon.
Well, you know what?
Hacksaw was the funny one. That was like supposed to be the neutral awkwardness one.
Do you really need a reason for Hacksaw, honestly?
Yeah.
Because it's Hacksaw.
And not only that, it was to set up the joke with Stephanie McMahon, and then the last segment, the final segment part of it, but they had Ambrose kind of turn into the therapist, and they had the therapist crying on the couch, and as Ambrose was leaving, he yells in his face, "Yeah, it is weird to sit down to pee." I'm like, what?
And Billy's acting that because he sits down and pees.
Oh, shut up, Rick. Anyway,
That guy was really good, though. I got to give it to that actor or whatever, that guy who was playing the psychologist or whatever. He actually.
Yeah, that was funny, man. I'll give it to WWE and Dean Ambrose. That was hilarious, and they really pulled that off. Up next, we had Rusev and Lana kind of come out and repeat what they did on last week's main event. It was just basically almost word for word exactly what they did on main event. Talk about Ryback, talk about how he was going to be embarrassed when Rusev was going to beat him, and talk about Royal Rumble. It's exactly the same thing. The only key difference was they had Dean Ambrose come out and kind of start taking it to the United States Championship, and they kind of put a match together like that, and the matchup in itself was unique to say the least, considering the finish of the match, Rick. It was a finish that we don't often see in the wrestling industry today, and that's referee stoppage. The referee deeming Dean Ambrose and his injured knee unable to continue in a match. That's something we rarely see today, you know, not just in WWE, but in general, the wrestling industry.
Yeah, I have to say that was a rarity that I saw last night, and I don't really know where they were going with it, because we know that Dean Ambrose has had that injured knee. There's been rumors, and I'm going to say that word loosely, that Dean Ambrose, they want to turn Dean Ambrose heel, which a lot of people are against. And it started off with, of course, the ambulance match of Bray Wyatt winning cleanly. I think it was last Monday night.
Yes.
And I think what they're trying to do is maybe even dangle the carrot, so to speak, a little bit more. But I think right now what they might be doing is going maybe in a different direction, saying, see how he gets hurt, and now they might be going in a different story with Dean Ambrose. And I like to see where this is going.
I just say to add to that, because I haven't heard about that heel rumor until you guys just said that, is that would be a dumb decision by WWE if they did that. He's really over as a face right now, and I think there's more that he can add to his character right now as a good guy.
Yeah, I agree with you to an extent about that. But anyway, the finale of Monday Night Raw this week was the contract signing for the triple threat title match at the Royal Rumble between Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, and John Cena. And it went like any other typical contract signing in WWE or in the wrestling industry in general would go. It broke down into a fight. Kind of break it down for you. First off, it was Bork Laser German suplexing John Cena and then Seth Rollins. And then Cena would get up, and as the new admin on the Facebook page, C-Squared, even so adequately put it, when Cena put Lesnar through a table, I don't think anybody saw that part coming, because apparently they would think it would have been either Cena or Rollins to go through the table. But then after Lesnar went through the table, Rollins attacked Cena and not only curb stomped John Cena, but I think to shock and from a lot of the crowd, Rollins curb stomped Brock Lesnar, and they made Rollins go out on top in this segment. And I got to ask you, James, as what was your reaction when you saw that at that point in time, to see Rollins do that to both Cena and Lesnar and the whole direction it went?
Really, for me, it's like it was kind of confusing. I didn't really expect Seth Rollins to be on top. I thought it'd be like someone like Cena or Brock Lesnar, because really, I really thought with Cena, how mad he is after the whole situation of the last 2 weeks. I felt like he could have, been the one on top, but instead they kind of set it for Seth Rollins.
Yeah, it was definitely a unique way to end the show this week. Well, guys and gals, normally this would be the point in the review where we go to the Facebook page and get you guys' comments and responses to and thoughts on Monday Night Raw, but unfortunately nobody's sending their reviews. But whenever we have a live show or live coverage of a show on the Facebook page and you guys send in your comments, we always read it out loud here on the review. So on that note, it is now time to go to our overall scores and our picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. This week's Monday Night Raw, compared to the crap fest that they did last week, was actually a much better show than what they did last week on Monday Night Raw. It was much more entertaining. It was indeed a decent show by Monday Night Raw. The announcement of Macho Man Randy Savage at the Hall of Fame. A lot of people are saying it's about time that Macho Man gets into the Hall of Fame. Regardless of who's inducting him, it's finally time, because Macho Man Randy Savage has deserved to be in the WWE Hall of Fame for quite some time, and finally we're going to see it happen. The Triple Threat contract signing was indeed a great way to cap off the show. A lot of fans are excited that Seth Rollins was the one that went out on top in that whole segment and looked really good. Bork Laser, keep a microphone away from this guy, because he butchers the English language more than Scott Steiner. That's all I'm saying. You got Paul Heyman out there to be the fucking mouthpiece for your gimmick. Let him do his job. Keep the mic out of your goddamn hands. But beyond that, it was indeed a really good show. I really don't have anything bad to say other than the fact that they made Bork Laser talk, and they should not do it. Best segment of the night, I'm going to attribute it to the funniest segment of the night, and that's the Dean Ambrose therapist segments. Those things were over the top hilarious. I loved it. It was highly entertaining, especially the picture association and then the ending where the rules kind of reversed. I gotta love that. It was funny, and I thought it was highly entertaining. So that's why I'm going to attribute that to the funniest segment of the night. The worst match of the night. I have to go to Naomi and Alicia Fox, because I just sat there looking at it like, why? Why are we having this? Why is this on the air? And why is Vince McMahon just basically telling the Divas to go out there and be eye candy when you can do so much better? We've seen so much better when they're on the WWE Network shows like NXT, Main Event, Superstars. Where they're allowed to do more. Why can't they do more on the main roster program? But it's Vince McMahon for you. But anyway, my overall score on Monday Night Raw this week is going to be a 3.25 out of 5. Let's go to Rick next and get his overall score and his picks for the best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Rick?
Well, I will agree with you, Billy. It was better than last week. I won't say much better, but it was better. If you watched Raw, if you even paid attention, it still took 90 minutes. We only had one wrestling match. 90 minutes of Raw. And that's pretty bad. But I'll have to say the first match was rather decent. So I'll give that first match. The first segment was all right. And of course, the final segment, the final match was decent. And of course, Dean Ambrose Psychoval was hilarious. So, and obviously, kudos to Macho Man finally getting inducted. It's long overdue. So, and I will agree with you. No matter who he truly gets inducted to, whether we agree or disagree, he's getting inducted, and that's what's really important. So, I'll give it a solid 3. At least they're getting better.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the key thing. The shows are getting better and not worse. Over to Lance next. Get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Lance?
While it was better than last week's, which I don't see how they could get much worse, I was bored in parts. Like, the last segment bored the hell out of me. One, not a fan of any of the three guys, and two, triple threat matches bore the hell out of me anyway. And to me, they botched the whole Hall of Fame thing, because you give away who's coming in at the very beginning of the show. You should not have done that. You should, hey, the first is coming in, is coming. The Hall of Fame announcement is coming. Then, at that last one, then announce who it is. Not, Randy Savage is expected. Why are you telling the people what's expected from your own freaking company?
I think it's because of the fact that TMZ reported it yesterday morning first and broke it on their website first that they did that.
They also said that Scott Hall was going in the Hall of Fame, or Razor Ramon was going in. They didn't do that.
No, they did not.
But the best, what has to be the anything involving Ambrose. Ambrose is the new king of Raw.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like I said, I was holding my sides, man. I was laughing so much at what they did with Dean Ambrose. Up next is James with his overall score, who was actually there last night at Monday Night Raw, and with his overall score and hit picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. James?
After the show was over, they had Bray Wyatt come out and do a little talking about, oh, it's good to be home. And then basically he cut a promo like, I'm surprised Dean Ambrose is still staying and yet alone competed on tonight's Raw. And then basically that was a key for Dean Ambrose to come out and beat each other. Bray Wyatt went away. That's all. But anyway, overall, a 3. It was a good, decent Raw, better than last week. The worst has to go to both Divas matches, because I just didn't get why they had the Naomi, and I just didn't get why they had Tyson Kidd out the cage match. Best is Dean Ambrose. Oh.
Oh, man. Well, like I said, again, Dean Ambrose, kudos. Finally, we're going to go to Gohan, get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Gohan?
Best segment was definitely the Dean Ambrose therapy session. Worst was the Naomi and the Fox thing. Really dumb. The Naomi should be the Divas champion. She's the best diva on the roster. A very underutilized diva there. And then overall, it's like I think 3.5 out of 5. Better than last week, but there were some things in there that they could have improved on. And best match, well, who knows? Back to you, Billy.
Well, guys and gals, what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week? We definitely want to know what you guys out there have to say. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Where can fans check you out on HWR?
Of course, you can always check us out on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And now, join in the conversation at our new location, www.hardcorewrestlingradio.com.
Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
Album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck woman cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants, and I am just starting. I have one episode of the Controversies and Scandals archives already up.
Ladies and gentlemen, he was seen outside of the Smoothie King Center last night fighting off homeless people with a pickaxe made out of hamburgers. It's James from the Big Easy. James, you got anything coming up on Twitch?
Billy, there's still a duck made of hamburger behind you? Anyway, I'm on twitch.tv/FatBoyForAll for I do gameplays and stuff, and then I'm gonna be around doing other random stuff like ranting on how Total Diva stuff should not be on the main roster.
And finally, guys and gals, Gohan is on YouTube himself at youtube.com/Gohan6425. Gohan, got anything coming up?
Anime, video game reviews, WWE videos, NFL videos, obviously predictions for the playoffs going on. My Green Bay Packers are going to the NFC Championship game. There was no controversy in that loss, or in that win. Cowboys lost fair and square. Was not a catch, people. So yeah, those are the things I do. Big discussion coming up with the asshole bias death battle. Toth versus Gara battle will be coming up. I'm going to do an analyst video that will be uploaded very shortly. Because we all know Death Battle don't know what the fuck they're doing. So yeah, that's what mainly my channel is: WWE videos, NFL videos, anime videos, and video game videos. So if you like that stuff, please subscribe to my channel or check it out at least.
If you're listening to us on SoundCloud.com right now, be sure you hit that follow button if you like what you hear. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Facebook.com/WGS-TV, and don't forget to please subscribe to YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and YouTube.com/ZFXTV Network. But if they don't start getting up off their ass, that's going to change very, very, very soon. So with that being said, for the hardcore host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, Rickhead, for the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV, James the Big Easy, and Gohan6425, I'm the Wrestle Gamer, Double B Bujo, saying, "Woo, yeah, dig it!"
Yeah, I just finished. What do you need help? You need a cigarette? I've got one.
Oh, God.